So guys, what is up? On today I will be creating the next few UFC pay-per-views from August 2026 to December 2026. So the first one, UFC 330, August 15th on Saturday August 15th, and for the main event, I think it's been rumored heavily a lot. It's Islam Makhachev versus Ian Gary. Yeah, I mean, it's time for Islam Makhachev to make a defense for his belt now. I mean, he hasn't before. No, he's been out. He hasn't been out, but I think it's time to find his belt now. And against the number one deserving contender, Ian Gary. I mean, yeah, Ian Gary deserves it. You know, he's beat top names like Bilal Muhammad, Carlos Pradas. Yeah, so I think that's a really good fight. And for Islam, just came off that dominated performance against JDM. I think if he wins this fight and another fight, I think he could be considered the GOAT. And yeah, it's on time to defend now. It hasn't fought since November, so yeah, I think it's time. And then for UFC 331, um, the UFC looked to go to T-Mobile Arena in the first week of October. You know, they did it last year with Ankalaev and Pereira, the rematch. So I think the main event for this card will be sorry, Alex Piotr Jan, and I think they're against be more up the wall surely. I mean, yeah, I think it's time for a trilogy. You know, they both said that their next opponent is each other. I think it's been like Piotr Jan hasn't fought since December. You know he's had back surgery, and I think it's time now to defend against Marab. You know, of course Marab, I still think he did. I still think he did a title shot. You know, he fought 4 times last year, defended about 3 times. But Piotr Jan did get that belt off him, and it was an incredible performance in the second fight. So yeah, I think they should make this fight. It's also heavily rumored. You know, they said they'd fight in the International Fight Week, but there's the main event for that has already settled. So yeah, I think they should make it for this. And yeah, if Piotr wins, he can have one of the generational UFC title runs of all time, from losing to Sean O'Malley, getting robbed, you know, losing his back against Aljamain Sterling, to avenging his losses and becoming one of the greatest bantamweights of all time, if not the best. So now, UFC 332, and we know the UFC looks good to Abu Dhabi in October, especially around the 25th, especially around the 20th, around that week. They love to go October. You know, we did it last year, and we did it. They've done it. I think they've done it for the past 5 years. So yeah, and I think for this should be Alexander Volkanovski against Marcel Revelov. I mean, this is one of the best matches from the featherweight division you can make right now. I mean, Volkanovski has got his belt back, defending against Diego Lopez in February, and for Marcel Revelov, he's deserving number one contender. He's undefeated. He's on like I don't know, like 10-fight win streak. And yeah, he's beat the names of Lauren Murphy, Aljamain Sterling. So yeah, I think they should make this fight. And I think Volkanovski will still win based on Marcel's last performance. It wasn't really that good performance against Lauren Murphy. But yeah, I think we should make this, especially since Evo is Muslim and lives in Abu Dhabi, and they're gonna hype up months off for that fight. But I still think Volkanovski will win this fight. So yeah, make this fight for UFC 3 for UFC 332 in Abu Dhabi, you know, in European time, which is good. So yeah, I maybe put on like a women's co-main, because surprisingly, none of the women's champions hasn't even fought in this year. So yeah, I think they should put that as a co-main. So yeah, and then for UFC 333, we know the UFC will go to MSG in the middle of November. You know, they've been doing for the last couple of years, and I think a way to headline this great arena is Tom Aspinall versus the winner of Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira. Yeah, I mean, Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane fights in June, which is next month, and I think after this they're going to be prepared for Tomas Spinal, and Tomas Spinal will be prepared for that. I think Aspinall's back in training, is back in doing just normal stuff really, because that eye injury was really bad. You know, if it's Pereira who wins and gets the interim belt, I think that'd be a super fight. Aspinall and Pereira, you know, uh, Pereira becoming freeweight world champion, and yeah, if he beats Tomas Spinal, then I think he's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. And if it's Cyril Gane, then it's the story, you know, the rematch. Aspinall wants revenge on Gane for what he did to him, where he injured him for like hasn't fought in like I don't even know 10 months, I think. So yeah, I think they'd want that fight, and I think I'd rather no, I love Alex Pereira. I think he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. But I think I'd much rather see Cyril Gane. You know, the way we saw that first round between Aspinall and Gane, it was just it was lining up to be a banger, and unfortunately Aspinall got injured with his eye. So I think that rematch would be insane. The build will be insane. Aspinall's not no more Mr. Nice Guy. He's becoming more mean. So yeah, and then last card of the year, UFC 334. T-Mobile Arena. We know the UFC loves to go to the T-Mobile Arena in December, around the first week of December. And I think for the main event for this should be Sean Strickland defending his belt for the in a second title reign against Nasty Imavov. I mean, yeah, of course this is a rematch. The first time they fought, Strickland scored him on 2 weeks' notice. So, and yeah, I think it's time. I think Strickland will be back. You know, he hit his shoulder, he had the shoulder injury against his fight against Chimaev and loads of other stuff. And I think he's gonna return around this time, and I think it's the perfect fight. You know, Imavov deserves it. He's a #1 contender for a reason. You know, he's on like a 5-fight win streak or something. You know, he beat the likes of Kai Barallo, Israel Adesanya, loads of people. So yeah, I think this is the next fight to make in the middleweight division. Yeah, and I think but I think it'll be a lot more closer than the first fight. But I think Strickland just schools him again. You know, the jab and the teeth causes a lot of problems, and especially in the first fight, it caused a lot of problems for Imavov as well. So yeah, Strickland versus Imavov. Make it in the December card, T-Mobile Arena, and then I'm also going to include the co-main for this UFC 334 in December. It's Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van, the rematch. I mean, this has to happen, and I think it'll happen this year. I think the UFC will want to book it as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean Joshua Van, absolute warrior. We just saw again his fight against Tatsuro Taira, who he destroyed him in rounds 2 and 3, nearly submitted him as well. And Alexandre Pantoja looking to get his belt back. Now I think he'll want revenge. Pantoja off the arm injury from last time they fought. And yeah, I think it'll be a much closer fight than the first fight. Everyone thought in the first fight that Pantoja was gonna win, gonna submit him in the first round. But then that freak injury happens and Pantoja's out. So yeah, I think it'd be a much closer fight. I see loads of people picking Joshua Van to win the rematch. I think Pantoja will still win. I think he has unbelievable skills in this division and loads of tools for Van, and even Van got took down by Tatsuro Taira. So yeah, and I think they'll make it this fight. I think Van could fight another time this year. You know, he just fought in April, so like that's what like 7, no sorry, like 6 months, I don't know, 6 7 months, and yeah, I think he'll be able to have a long fight camp. And yeah, for Pantoja, I think he's back from his arm injury. We saw in the post-fight interview when after Van fought Taylor, he called him out Panther just staring down Vanna his walkout. I think we should make this fight, especially for the co-main event. That'd be an insane fight, a sick fight. So please like and subscribe. I hope you all like this video. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Peace.